just going to be going through with you this time some of the key mathematical skills that you're going to need for your science exam. Now, I know it's science, but actually 30% of your physics exam alone is going to be math skills. So what AQA do is that they pick some key skills that they're going to expect you to be able to use, and they're going to put them into your questions, and they're going to expect you to be able to do them. First and foremost, standard form. Now, it does work the exact same way it would do in a maths lesson. I'm just making sure that you are aware that this is a really important skill that you're going to need for your summer examinations. With standard form, there's some key ideas. You're going to see either numbers in this form or in this form. What we've got to identify is how we can convert from one to the other. So if we take our number on the left here, what we've identified is that this value must be between 1 and 10. So it can't be 0.12 and it can't be 12.9. It's got to be between 1 and 10. Hence we've got 4.6. We next look at our times 10 to the power, and if it is a positive value, it tells us that we're going to be moving the decimal place to the right. So if I move my decimal place to the right hand side, you can see I've moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and it ended up with this value here. So my decimal place was here, 4.6. I've moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hence, we get our value of 460,000. You may be expected to go the other way. So if we started with a value of 6,700,000, we'd have to convert that into standard form. This time, we're moving our decimal place ourselves, so we're moving it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times to get 6.7, and that gives us our 10 to the power of 6. This can change ever so slightly if we have negative powers. So, the same rule applies with our value. It still must be between 1 and 10, hence 1.8. But with a negative value here, we're moving our decimal place the opposite direction. We're moving it to the left. So we can see if the decimal place was 1.8, I've moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Hence, I've been given 0.000018. Same as before, you might have to go the other way. So, if you were given a value such as this one, we're going to move the decimal place ourselves 1, 2, 3, 4 times. That's why we've got a value of 10 to the minus 4. So just look out for that in some of the questions. It might ask you to give your answer in standard form, or they might give you some values that are already in standard form. So you need to recognise how to convert those. The second key skill then, significant figures. Now, same as before, if it's in maths, it's doing it the same way. And again, with the significant figures, there's some key ideas that we're going to continuously go back to. They might ask you for an answer to be in a certain number of significant figures. So what we're going to do is we're going to assume all numbers are significant except for 0. But that comes with a little bit of extras, because 0 can be significant if it comes between other numbers or it comes after another number and a decimal point. Okay, so we'll give some examples of that and show you what that means in a second. If we were looking at 42,316 and we want to convert that to 2 significant figures, we're going to have to be following some key steps. First up, count the significant figures from the left, starting from the first non-zero digit. So I've got no zeros in here, so I don't need to worry about that. So I'm counting from the left, I'm starting at my 4, I want 2 significant figures, so I'm going to count 1, 2. I'm going to look at the first unwanted digit. So in this example, it's the 3 that's right after my number 2. Now, I'm going to have to look at my rounding laws. Is it 5 or more? Well, if it's more than 5, I'm going to round up. If it's less than 5, I'm going to round down. I'm going to keep it as it is. This is 3, so it means I don't need to change my 2 there. So to 2 significant figures, we end up with 42,000. If we look at a couple of other examples just before we finish, we could again also have some decimal places. So we've got 0.0054893, so quite a long number. What we've got to think about is again, counting the significant fingers from the first non-zero digit. This is where we have got some zeros in. So this is where we're not going to count these first 3 zeros, we're going to start counting from 5. So 1, 2, 3. Same rules before, looking at my first unwanted digit, this time it's a 9. So, is it 5 or more? Yes. I'm going to use my rules for rounding. Because that's a 9, I round up, which means my 8 here is going to change. Have a look at our answer. We've got 0.00549. 3 significant figures, not including those zeros, and rounded our 8 up to 9 because of the first unwanted value. One more to do. Okay, this time I've got the zeros in my value, all right? So if we take, again, our first value that's after the zero, so I can ignore this zero, I'm looking at my first value here, 4 significant figures, so I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's got 2 zeros in there I need to think about. Looking at my first unwanted digit, that's this 2 here. Check my rounding. Because it's a 2, I don't need to round up. I can leave it as it is. So let's have a look at our answer. 0.1050. Our zeros are significant in this example. I've got 4 values, 4 significant figures, including those zeros. A final point just to make sure you're aware of, and this has come directly from AQA themselves. In your exam, when you're putting your values into a calculator and it's asking for the answer in significant figures, you write down what you see on your calculator first. Write that down on your paper, no matter how long it is, and then change the significant figures in the answer. That's showing the examiner that you know how to use significant figures, and it can gain you that mark. Okay? Even if your calculation you've done might be slightly incorrect, if you've shown that step, it shows that you've got that skill and you can be awarded points for it. So it's about showing everything that you can do. And it is always important that you do your working and you show you're working out whenever you're doing any kind of calculations.